Hi, my name is Paul Drinkon and welcome to the Prosperity Coaching Associates website. Glad you stopped by. Today I wanted to talk to you about risk and wanted to really an overview of the three types of risk I wanted to talk to you about: capital risk, inflation risk, and liquidity risk. We'll talk about a little bit about each one of those right now. The first one is capital risk, and this is the type of risk that most investors are very much aware of. That is the risk to your principal. For example, you put $100,000 in an investment. A year later, it's worth $90,000. You've lost $10,000. That's the risk you took in that investment. You lost that. On the other hand, the exciting part is, and what we look forward to, is that $100,000 turns into $120,000. You've got a capital gain. You've made more money, and that's exciting. That's the two major emotions we all feel in the market. That's fear and greed. But the capital risk is that volatility that you have with your investments and that you can lose. That's the risk you take on your different investments, whether it's cash, bonds, or mutual funds or stocks, etc. And so I have a lot of people tell me, well, Paul, you know what, if I'm losing money, I might be just better off if I put it in a mattress. A lot of times people say that jokingly, but there's a real risk in being ultra-conservative as well, or putting your money in a mattress. And that is a loss of purchasing power, the inflation risk that you have with your investment. And we all have our own examples. I'll give you a couple of mine. I just filled my tank up yesterday, $2.69 a gallon. You see that in 2010 in that column. $2.69 for a gallon of gas. Back when I was in college, and I probably shouldn't tell you this, it might give away my age, but gas was probably more in the range of 40 cents a gallon. And back then, actually, when you filled up, they pumped the gas and gave you glasses, silverware, dishes, etc. Now you pay $2.69 and you pump it yourself. A new car back in 1970 time frame would be $2,500. Today, $25,000. And the cost of a postage stamp back then, 6 cents. Today, 44 cents. So inflation risk is a real threat to your financial long-term health and not the way to go. Liquidity risk is the third one I want to talk about. And liquidity risk is the risk that probably we talk about the least, but it's something you got to be aware of and plan for. That risk, for example, if you have all your money tied up in an IRA or retirement account and you need a cash need and you need to pull some of that money, you're going to have a 10% penalty involved, pay taxes, etc. So you've got to be aware of the cash needs you're going to have in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years. There are also some investment vehicles out there, annuities that are attractive in certain situations where they guarantee no loss of principal and that you participate in the market. But again, if you pull those investments in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, depending on the annuity, you're going to pay a penalty for that. So you do not have access to all your money at all times. So what's all that mean? What that really means is that when you're looking at your financial profile and looking at investing, you really need to understand your time horizon, how long you've got to invest. You also need to really look at and understand your risk tolerance. I had a lot of people in after 2008 never really realize what they could lose in the market. You can lose money. Long term, if you're patient and stay there, you will make money. Historically, you've always made money. But you got to understand your risk tolerance. Also, your cash needs are critical to understand that in the near term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. If you know you're going to have a cash need, plan for that, have some money set aside so that that is there and not going to be lost. And so the last thing really is to diversify and allocate properly. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and that will serve you well in your financial planning. As usual, call me about this topic on risk or any other matter, and look forward to talking to you, and enjoy the rest of the summer.